Another good evening this Good Friday. You are watching Newsplus. My name is Faith Nyaude. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's to hoping you are enjoying your Easter holidays. Here are the stories making the headlines tonight. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has returned home following a historic 3-day state visit to Accra, where Zimbabwe and Ghana sealed a new chapter in bilateral relations. Our correspondent Ibn Mabunda is on standby at the Robert Mugabe International Airport to give us an update. Churches call for unity, forgiveness, and positive change in society as they celebrate Good Friday. Stay tuned to Newsplus for more on that. Police have released the names of 6 people who perished in a tragic head-on collision that occurred along the Harare-Masvingo Road on Thursday morning. And in sport, Scotland coach Mapeza is crediting the turnaround of the team to his players. We'll give you more when we take a look at sport. Now, on our top story this evening, President Emmerson Mnangagwa has returned home following a historic 3-day state visit to Accra, where Zimbabwe and Ghana sealed a new chapter in bilateral relations through the signing of 10 memoranda of understanding across key sectors of the economy. The president arrived this evening at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, marking the conclusion of a high-level diplomatic mission aimed at strengthening economic cooperation, trade and investment ties between the two nations. We cross over to the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport.
In terms of cooperation, which areas should we expect cooperation? We understand the MOUs that were signed.
In particular, in agriculture, they emphasize cooperation in agriculture, because I think they're very good in agriculture. And I think our agricultural sector can benefit and perhaps collaborate with their sector. That's the area they talked about most.
Ghana was instrumental in assisting us.
Pardon?
Ghana, it was instrumental in assisting us in attaining independence. As we head towards independence celebrations, how key were these sister countries for us during pre-independence?
You are aware that Ghana was one of the first African countries to become independent on the African continent. And under Nkrumah, it was a nationalist country which supported the independence, the liberation of various countries, in particular those in Southern Africa. We looked at Nkrumah as our liberator, and we still continue to regard Ghana as one of the most leading African liberators of the continent.
Now our correspondent Ibn Mabunda, who is also at the airport, joins us live. Ibn, good evening and over to you.
Good evening. His Excellency, the President of Zimbabwe, Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa, has arrived from the Republic of Ghana after a 3-day visit in which they engaged in constructive bilateral engagements. You would bear in mind that Zimbabwe as well as Ghana have shared historic ties dating back to the years of the liberation war struggle, and so decades after that, we are seeing this particular visit by President Mnangagwa, where it is that they were able to engage in structured conversation at the signing of 10 memoranda of understanding, essential and critical to advancing the degree of trade that exists between Zimbabwe and the Republic of Ghana. And of course, His Excellency the President did make reference to the fact that agriculture remains an area that Zimbabwe and Ghana are poised to collaborate, and of course some of the memorandum of understanding entail areas such as mining, health, education, infrastructure, with the list of course being interminable. And so Zimbabwe is looking to build on this very visit to enhance trade between Zimbabwe and the Republic of Ghana.
Well, Ibn, thank you so much for that update and for joining us. Our correspondent Ibn Mabunda was joining us live from the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, where the president just arrived from a state visit to the country of Ghana. Now, Christians across Zimbabwe and the world are observing Good Friday, one of the most significant days on the Christian calendar. It is a time of reflection on the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and the sacrifice he made for humanity. Churches are also using the occasion to call for unity, forgiveness, and positive change in society. Mirai Singo has that story.
On this solemn day of Good Friday, Christians across the world are reflecting on the crucifixion of Jesus Christ and the sacrifices he made for humanity. Today is just not a day of mourning, but one of deep spiritual significance, marked by prayer, fasting, and messages of love, humility, and redemption. From church sanctuaries to open-air gatherings, the atmosphere across the country is one of reverence and reflection as hymns echo and believers pause to remember a sacrifice that continues to shape their lives.
The drink, Jesus said, "It is finished."
Church leaders say the day serves as a powerful reminder of the core values of forgiveness, unity, and renewed faith.
Zuva ranhasi tiri mured vestments kureva ropa rakadeuka pachipiyaniso tichipemberera rudo rwakanyanyisa rwakaitwa naKristu. Good Friday iyi kana afa ndio inozotipinza muEaster paanozomuka after 3 days. Sazomba zvabataniza yatoti Easter Triduum ine mamhemberero 3.
Beyond the message of redemption, the church is also taking an active role in promoting positive behavioral change, particularly among young people, as communities grapple with growing social challenges.
Vana vedu vari kusangana nematambudziko akati kuti avanosangana nawo mukati menyika mavanorarama vari mazuva ose. Mamwe acho anosanganisira drug and substance abuse.
The Evangelical Lutheran Church in Zimbabwe is urging the nation to embrace this period as more than just a public holiday, but as a moment for deep reflection and spiritual renewal.
As believers, tinotenda kuti Kristu ndiye foundation yedu, ndiyo nheyo yedu yekutenda kwedu. Saka zuva ranhasi tinorida nokurikoshesa nokugara tichirirangarira.
In a world faced with uncertainty, the message of Good Friday remains as relevant as ever, that love conquers hatred and hope rises even in the darkest moments. As the message of the significance of Good Friday continues to resonate, church leaders are urging Christians to carry forward the message of redemption, sacrifice, love, beyond today. Reporting for ZTN Prime, I am Mirira Nsingo in Harare.
Now, on a sad note, the police have released the names of 6 people who perished in a tragic head-on collision that occurred along the Harare-Masvingo Road on Thursday morning. The fatal crash involving a Toyota Corolla and a Mercedes-Benz truck occurred in the evening at the 246-kilometer peg near Masvingo. In a statement, National Police spokesperson Commissioner Paul Nyati said the victims have since been positively identified by their next of kin. Those who died in the accident are Lillian Maranda Mujuru, aged 40, Noktenda Mujuru, aged 15, Makanaka Mujuru, aged 13, Ronald Jr. Mujuru, aged 11, Rufaru Shalom Mujuru, aged 7, and Caden Mujuru, aged 3, all of Tenward, North Harare. May their souls rest in peace. Now, as Zimbabwe marks the Easter holidays, authorities have stepped up a nationwide traffic blitz, moving to contain road accidents during one of the busiest travel periods of the year. Across the country, road safety teams were out in full force, mounting checkpoints, stopping vehicles, and engaging motorists as holiday traffic begins to build up. In Mashonaland Central, a joint operation took place along the Mount Darwin Mukumbura Road, bringing together the Zimbabwe Republic Police, Municipal Police, the Vehicle Inspection Department, and the Traffic Safety Council. The heightened presence comes against the backdrop of a worrying surge in road traffic accidents recorded in 2025.
We are doing this campaign to reduce traffic accidents during this holiday, Easter holiday.
Public transport operators were also in the spotlight, with the buses being flagged down for overloading and unsafe driving practices, some facing instant fines. Authorities also placed responsibility on passengers, urging them to avoid boarding overloaded or unroadworthy vehicles. Azaya Mbanje, Regional Manager for the Traffic Safety Council in Mashonaland Central, said this year's campaign aims to instill discipline among both drivers and passengers to ensure safer roads across the province.
So as Traffic Safety Council, we've
resolved that we are going to continue with this, and also we've also embraced technology so that we can also use Internet of Things, we can also use online messages, we can use WhatsApp so that we leave no one or no place behind.
In Harare, similar campaigns targeted major travel points including Bare Musika, where police are engaging travelers not just on road safety but also on issues such as crime, drug abuse and gender-based violence during the holiday period. At Trababla's interchange, community operators took the opportunity to thank the police for the work that they are doing to spread awareness to motorists.
They are trying to control. Sometimes
the nationwide operation will run throughout the Easter and Independence holidays as authorities push for safer roads. And with the traffic volumes expected to rise, the message is simple. Caution, patience, and responsibility could make the difference between life and loss. So drive to stay alive. Now, still with what's happening with the Easter traffic and festive season traffic volumes at Beitbridge Border Post have increased significantly during the Easter period, with more travelers now entering the country. The Department of Immigration reported a 39% rise in arrivals compared to the same period last year. Between March 27 and April 2nd, a total of 47,909 travelers were processed, up from 34,571 recorded previously. Authorities say measures have been put in place to efficiently manage the increased volumes while maintaining strict border security. Assistant Regional Immigration Officer in charge of Beitbridge, Kanisia Magaya, says teams are on high alert.
We have noted an increase in terms of entries into Zimbabwe. Last year, from 27 March to the 2nd of April, we cleared 34,571 entries. And for the same period, this year, 2026, we cleared 47,909 entries, marking a 38.7 increase in terms of traveler movement. And in terms of minors, to the Department of Social Development, we referred 4 minors, and refusals, we refused 2, 1 US and 1 South African. Prosecutions, we had 5, 2 South Africans, 1 DRC and 1 Malawian. And the department has employed a cocktail of measures to deal with irregular migration. And amongst the strategies we have employed is one of them is road patrols, together with other security departments, roadblocks and borderline patrols as well.
Now, the increase in traffic on Zimbabwe's roads this Easter holiday circles back to the issue of road safety and measures put in place to monitor the adherence of traffic laws. The following report looks at the recently introduced electronic traffic management system and how it has influenced motorists.
Zimbabwe recently introduced the electronic traffic management system, a step towards digital policing. The system utilizes cameras, sensors, and real-time analytics to identify traffic violations and manage traffic flow.
Now, what you see behind me is one of the cameras that were placed at a traffic light intersection, and these were introduced in Harare to curb reckless driving and also improve road safety. But still, some motorists continue to flout traffic rules despite this surveillance.
Has there been a difference on the roads since the introduction of these cameras?
Yeah, kubva zvakaya makamera zvinhu zviri kufamba zvakanaka. Hapazoshaika wawiri watatu vanopinda mared robots nekuitawo musikanzwa sepano panenge paine vanhu vakasiyana siyana, asi dambudziko rakadzikira.
Nyaya dzemarobhoti aya kuti anzi aiswa makamera matsaona achanyanya kuwanda ina ndione kushanda kwazvena kana mhosva dzacho anemboone kuti munhu azobatwa nemhosva nenyaya yekuti anzi abatwa nekamera handisati ndazviona. Tinongonzwa kune dzimwe nyika uchinzi mhosva yako unotoegera tiketi pamba wobhadhira mhosva dzako, ndokwatinozvinzwira.
One of the other measures to bring order on the roads is the introduction of speed cameras through a Zimbabwe Republic Police and Traffic Safety Council partnership.
we are aware that the police have also moved on this issue of speed traps or speed cameras, as they are called, and we are again partnering with them. As I speak, I know people are now being ticketed for speeding.
Lists of motorists caught violating traffic laws on camera have been released, with the most recent one being late last year, and police say the electronic traffic management system, which is still a work in progress, will bring these motorists to book.
Currently it's working, which is underway in terms of installing the necessary gadgets so that all the relevant sites which have been identified in Harare, they are then linked to the electronic traffic management system. But one area of concern is the behavior of drivers. You know, it's said really that despite all the efforts being done by the government, despite all efforts being done by the Zimbabwe Public Police to promote road safety, we still have drivers who drive as if there is no tomorrow. We still have drivers who drive thinking only of themselves. They are going through red robots.
Law enforcers remain committed to enhancing road safety, with motorists also expected to play their part in respecting traffic laws. The effectiveness of the electronic management system remains to be seen as Zimbabwe strives for a road safety environment. Wadzanai Sansole, ZTN Prime.
Oh, you are watching Newsplus. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
Rural Electrification Fund, competitive tenders. The Rural Electrification Fund, REF, is inviting bids from reputable bidders for the following tenders. Tender number 1, supply and delivery of solar home systems, various sizes. The closing date for this tender is on the 20th of April, 2026. The following tenders have a closing date of 27 April, 2026. Tender number 2, supply and delivery of biogas and internal wiring materials. Tender number 3, supply and delivery of various ICT software licenses. Tender number 4, supply and delivery of various vehicle spares and service kits. Tender number 5, provision of REF asset insurance cover for physical assets. Tender number 6, supply and delivery of tents and mattresses. Standard bidding documents availability. Bidding documents are available on the Electronic Government Procurement System, EGP, https://egp.pras.org.zw. Bid submission shall also be done on the EGP system not later than the dates and time provided. Magetsi kumusha, amagetsi ekaya.
Welcome back. You are still watching Newsplus. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, higher and tertiary institutions are determined to fully support communities with special needs by coming up with tailor-made programs to capacitate students on how to educate learners with disabilities and to create a conducive environment where they can thrive. Let's get more in this report.
Higher and tertiary institutions have scaled up deliberate efforts to support communities with special needs as rollout of heritage-based curriculum Education 5.0 takes full swing. The commitment allows for those living with disability to be capacitated and be players in national development.
So we use communication boards whereby they are seeing, maybe for example a glass. They can see that one is a glass. We are saying their intelligence is there, it's average to above average, but there is a problem in their temporal lobe, hence they cannot read glass. But when we use the sense of seeing to teach them, they can touch when they want to communicate.
We won't be calling it abnormal hearing because there's nothing like that.
That's what we call discrimination in other languages. And so I'll be like, maybe you've got your learning levels got a problem somehow that needs maybe integration or intervention. And how are we doing so? Hearing maybe a mild hearing loss is not a problem. But the problem is how we as the community will address the problem.
Speaking during a tour of United College of Education in Bulawayo, Higher and Tertiary Education, Science, Innovation and Technology Minister Frederick Shava hailed innovations by the institution, saying capacitation of teachers will go a long way in ensuring that learners with special needs are accommodated in schools.
It is a special college which was born by solidarity of churches in the 70s who put it up, and subsequently they donated this college to government, and the college is doing its best to promote government aspirations, parents' aspirations in the context of its work. And we've been shown a number of activities, especially in the area of disability. We are happy. We want the colleges, like the universities, to play a part as we gravitate towards 2030, towards the achievement of NDS2.
Minister Shava amplified the call for higher and tertiary institutions to involve communities with special needs in their programs to dovetail President Emmerson Mnangagwa's mantra of leaving no one and no community behind. For ZTN Prime, Veronica Gwaze.
Now, illegal dams and water diversions along the Matomhlobe River in Bulawayo are disrupting the natural flow of water into Hillside Dam, raising concern among conservationists over the sustainability of the wetland ecosystem. Speaking to ZTN Prime on the sidelines of a wetlands tour hosted by the Environmental Management Authority, Hillside Dam's Conservancy conservationist Bernadette Mpindanzanga said unauthorized activities upstream were significantly affecting water levels in the reservoir.
Upriver, upstream, we noted that there are some illegal dams and illegal weirs, which are either in people's properties or basic people have blocked the river itself from flowing for whether it's agricultural use or it's for mining use, that they're diverting that water from the river. So unless and until those rivers or dams, illegal dams that they have blocked and put in, unless when they spill, the main river discontinues flowing. Or that's when you come here at Hillside Dams and you're like, oh, the lower dam, the lower reservoir does not have water. So we have approached the city council. We have a task force that is working with the EMA, with Upper Gwai sub-catchment and the council as well to see how we can rectify those issues.
You are watching Newsplus. Stay with us.
Every day, millions of moments travel through the air. A call home, a payment made, a lesson learned, a life saved. But behind each moment is something steady, something quiet, unseen, unshaken, powering connection, supporting lives. This is Econet Infraco, Zimbabwe's largest private infrastructure group, comprising towers, power, and real estate. We build and operate the essential systems that hold the country together with scale, certainty, and purpose. We bring together three powerful engines of progress under one roof. Towers that carry the signal, clean energy that keeps it alive, and foundations that hold it all in one place. Because behind every connection, every transaction, every step forward, there's a quiet force. Econet Infraco, built for resilience, designed for growth.
In our Look at what's happening in the world of business tonight. Government is accelerating aquaculture development through genetic improvement programs for Nile tilapia to build a $1 billion fisheries industry under the Agricultural Food Systems and Transformation Strategy 2. Now, the initiative focuses on fast-growing, disease-resistant, and feed-efficient strains to boost production, cut costs, and shorten harvesting cycles. Director of Fisheries Milton Makumbe said genetic innovation is key to increasing output, improving profitability, and strengthening food security, adding that government has partnered with international collaborators to access superior breeds and modern technologies.
We are currently embarked on conservation programs where we're looking at most of our indigenous species to see, to try and select, characterize with utilization. So we're trying to identify those that have certain qualities for production. If we're looking at our macrica, for example, which is our green-headed bream, we are exploring possibilities of actually utilizing that particular tilapia species in the colder areas of Zimbabwe. At the same time, we are also engaging quite a number of other foreign parties who have got quality genetics as well.
And now for some sporting action.
I was raised in a family of 4 siblings. We're very musical. We had so much time to practice in the streets. The neighbors always complained. And I remember standing outside my grandmother's house. I would have a talk show with bricks as my guests. So I think my career choice was a very natural one. My journey with MultiChoice started at Idols. It was so professional. I was so intimidated, but it turned out to be a very fruitful one. From Idols, Our Perfect Wedding Zimbabwe, Chew On, they've held my hand. I'm a proud member of that MultiChoice family. To ignite Africa's creative industries, to me, is what MultiChoice is doing. And they're bringing great, brilliant minds together to tell our African stories and for us to determine the path that we're going to take for the future. It's priceless.
Now a quick look at what's happening in the world of sport. Scotland head coach Norman Mapeza has attributed his side's improved form to the positive attitude shown by his players, particularly in their defensive discipline as they prepare to face Highlanders on Easter Monday at Rufaro. The side has kept 3 clean sheets in their opening 5 matches, just 2 fewer than Simbabora, who remain the only side yet to concede. And Mapeza gave credit to his backline, which has remained solid, allowing the team to build confidence and complement their growing attacking output, which has seen them score 10 goals in their first 5 games of the season.
Yeah, so far so good. So far so good, but I always think there is always room for improvement. There is always room for improvement. We might not be conceding, but of course our opponents will be getting some opportunities. So in a game of football, it's always happen. It always happen. But I always tell the boys, look, if there is proper communication, there will be organization. So far so good. The communication is there and the organization is there. That's why we're not conceding goals. Remain the same. What we have been doing, remain the same. We don't have to change anything. We have been solid at the back. We are doing very well, especially midfielders with our midfield. Also, going forward, we see the goals are coming now. So we don't have to change much. We just have to go out there with the same mentality, which we have been having since the beginning of the season. Then we'll see how the games will go on.
With that, we conclude this bulletin. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Faith Nyaude. Here's to hoping you do have an incredible Easter weekend. Do stay safe on the roads. Have a good evening.
to shy